People think we walk around in this super shredded, low body fat percentage all the time. And it's not realistic. Like, okay, you know what I realized I don't talk about very often on this channel, and it's a health and fitness channel, and I coach like thousands of women to also be super fit. Like, my actual mindset or my process or my method around weight loss. And I think I've shared my transformation story before, I'm pretty sure, but it was, you know, like your normal story. Athlete in high school, got pretty fat in college. I think I gained like 30 pounds, and on a 5'4" frame, it wasn't the prettiest thing. I stopped moving for like 5 or 6 years, graduated college, and as once a very confident athletic person, I just kind of felt not confident. Like, I was so scared of like interviewing for jobs. I graduated with marketing. I would go to all these different interviews for sales jobs, and I just felt small. Like, I literally would be like, all I'd be thinking about was like actually not loving the body that I was in. And it really took a toll on like that next big phase of my life, coming out of college and stepping into being a career woman. And eventually I figured out what it was that I wanted, and then I was like unapologetic about it. I was like, I want to look sexy. I was like, I want my then boyfriend, fiance to husband, to like desire me. Like, I wanted to walk into an interview or be in like the career that I was in, and I wanted to be lit on fire. Like, I wanted to be powerful. I wanted to be like a lady boss, whatever, you know, the people are saying right now. But so I did. I figured it out. Like, I was like, no longer is this gonna come at a cost. Like, I don't have to pick and choose, like either be, you know, really good at my job, or then, you know, be like a really good mom as my life changed, or be a really good wife or whatever it was, or be really, really fit as heck. I was like, no, I'm gonna decide you can have them both. And then when I decided that, what's really cool is like I found my vibe again. Like I found deep, God, it sounds so cheesy, but you know, like kind of deep inside, like you know who you're supposed to be, but then you just feel like maybe like your physical self or like the thought virus you have about your appearance or who you feel like you're showing up as is kind of like taking a toll on you. I was like, nope, like I gotta do something about it. So I did. All right, so like, what am I talking about in today's video? I shared a post on Instagram and Facebook the other day about what I'm currently doing with my physique or with my food or with my fitness. And apparently, like, people really appreciated the honesty. And I think like when you are in social media and you put yourself out there, and I'm also a coach, I do this for a living, people think we walk around in this super shredded, low body fat percentage body all the time. And it's not realistic. Like, most of the pictures we're showing was at our most shredded, but you can't live there, or at least you can't live there and like actually enjoy life. And so I wanted to share with you today like where I'm actually at with my fitness journey and with my current physical body, and where that means I'm at mentally and emotionally, and how I've come to this place where I know when I'm gonna go a little bit harder, like when it's time to like push the gas, and when it's time to kind of pull back a little bit and put the brakes on, and how I've figured out that sweet spot with my physique and with my, you know, when I want to eat more or drink more, or when I want to work out less, and what that looks like. And then I thought I'd round it out with some of my weight loss best tips and tricks in case you are right now in the beginning of the year have the goal of getting more fit or getting leaner or getting shredded, which is also awesome too if that's what you want to do. How I actually go into a cut or a fat loss phase, or how to get leaner with some realistic strategies. Okay, when I had the boys, it was April of 2019, and I actually probably got down to the lightest weight I honestly ever seen since I remember like high school. And a lot of it, I had lost muscle mass when I was pregnant because I had a lot of restrictions with the boys. We had monitoring for this, I don't know, like twin-to-twin transfusion thing, because they were identical twins, and I was no longer allowed to work at our gym. They told me to come off the gym floor. I couldn't raise my voice. I had to keep my blood pressure at a certain spot. And I was like, well, shoot, what do I do now? And that's actually when I went all in on my online business, coaching women, you know, food, fitness, mindset. And that was back in 18. So I was doing it all from the gym out of a brick and mortar location into an actual online setting. But, you know, because I couldn't move and I was on these restrictions, and it's really hard to build muscle when you're pregnant because you don't make testosterone. So I lost a lot of muscle, which is totally fine. So I was the smallest weight I had ever seen postpartum, but I also didn't have much muscle mass on me. But I got super shredded. I don't know like what my body was doing, but it was just very, very lean. Almost to the point where people might think that it was like too lean, but like I felt really good. And I was like, oh my God, like all this hard work that I am doing, like I was back to lifting 3 to 4 times a week after I got cleared after my C-section after 12 weeks. I was back to hitting, you know, some macronutrients. I was working with my nutrition coach, and I was still eating like 16 to 1800 calories, but for me, that was a deficit because I was nursing at the time, and my activity level had increased significantly from being pregnant to not being pregnant just because I was able to move more. And I mean, I had 6-pack abs, I had veins popping through, like my arms had definition without me flexing them. And I was like, wow, okay, that's awesome. And then all of a sudden COVID hits and stress goes up, right? We own a gym. So we hurry up, we transition, we go online with Zoom trainings, right? We you know, try to adjust and pivot and move to still make our business run. And you know, that was good for a while, but after 2 to 3 months, my husband and I were like, this isn't for us, right? Like we don't feel like we can service clients the way we want in this setting. And it was a hard decision, but we turned off all of our memberships, okay? So now we had no cash flow coming in from the gym, only what I had built online with the online women's business. And then by August or September, we were like, what are we doing? In August, we were like, you know what? Like my mom was in the last stages of her life. She had 6 months left with hospice. And we were like, okay, we have more clarity with that. We know, you know, she maybe is going to be around 6 more months. I didn't want to live that far away from her. We knew the fate of the gym. We were like, we can't wait around to just decide what we're going to do here in Illinois with the gym. We closed the doors on our gym. We were able to get out of a lease that we still had 4 years on, and we made right by our landlord. But that was stressful. And then we decided we were going to move across the country to Texas. And so this super shredded, lean person that I was, like, I did that with not being as stressed and being able to spend more time in the gym and being able to focus more on my nutrition. But then all of a sudden, life had some pretty big things we were dealing with. And I was like, you know what? This is the time. I don't care if I put on an extra couple percent of body fat or a few pounds on the scale. What I cared about was being able to grow my online business, right? What I cared about was being able to go back and forth and see my mom in the last stages of her life. What I cared about was being able to move across the country and adjust myself to a new environment and routine, and adjust my boys to a new environment. I also wanted to meet people. I wanted to socialize. Like I literally landed in the middle of wine country, distilleries and breweries, like the hill country. That's what it is. I was like, I want to have more drinks. I want to go outside for more barbecues. I want to be more social. I want to build new relationships. And with that, I was like, that's okay. Like my ultimate priority was build my business and meet people and enjoy this new environment that I was in. And I loosened up the reins. And so what's cool is you can get shredded. Like I took it all the way. I know what that feels like, but I also know what it feels like just to be lean and to have a little bit more flexibility. And so you can have that too. Okay, so like in that picture, right? Like the first picture is me right now. Or maybe I flipped that. I gotta look at the photo. The one with the abs was me postpartum, honestly, a year ago. And the other one that like you don't see my abs as defined, that's me right now. And yeah, that might be like 3 or 4 pounds on the scale, and it's a little bit more body fat, but honestly, I'm happy. I'm eating more. It's allowed me to grow my business. It's allowed me to be more social and have a few more drinks, and it's been okay. But now, coming up, I have a particular event that I will be in a bikini. I'll be amongst a lot of fitness professionals. It's sometime in March. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I want to feel and look a little bit better, right? Like I want to come with my muscles popping, and there is no right or or wrong. Like, that's the thing with us women. Like, we put all of this pressure on ourselves to look or to not look a certain way, to, you know, like just kind of fit in with whatever else is popular on social media right now. And I just do me, right? And if it makes me feel good and it makes me feel more powerful, and if it makes me feel better, you know, confidence-wise and sexy and desirable and magnetic, well, I'm gonna do it, right? Because it's me. And so starting in like a week or two, I gotta do my check-in with my nutrition coach. We're gonna kind of start phasing it out. So what's cool is once you've taken it all the way, and then you learn how to give yourself flexibility, and you learn your sweet spot of when you want to tighten it up and get a little more shredded, or when you want to, you know, loosen it up and be a little bit okay with what you're eating and what you're doing with your fitness, then you get excited for the next time that you want to get a bit more shredded. And maybe it is for a trip. Maybe it's for summer. Maybe it's for your 40th or your 50th birthday. Whatever it is, it's kind of nice to have a timeline so you can build a strategy around that timeline. So for me, I'm like, get in, get out, right? I've done this so many times that I'm like, I can go 4 weeks, I can increase my step count, I can, you know, go a little bit lower calorie, and I can get really quickly to that, you know, abs popping look. Maybe I'll stay there for a little bit throughout summer, maybe I won't, it won't really matter, but now I kind of have a timeline. And so that brings me to my next part of this video. So first, it's like, go all the way if you want to do it, right? Like, if you have a certain look that you want, a goal number, who cares? It's for you. Go all the way. But go all the way and figure out what that looks like for you in your life, with your likes, your preferences, your food, your fitness, and what's actually going to get you there. So there has to be alignment. If there's a goal, there has to be a purpose behind that goal, and then alignment for you to actually go and get it. And then once you're there and you loosen it up and you want to go for it again, it's easy because you've already built the strategy. You know what works for you. You know the foods that you like to eat. You know how to build in more, celebratory fun foods. You know the movement that gets you to the body you want, or maybe mentally the way that you want to feel. And then all it is a little bit of tweaking in order to have that next desired result. And so a few of my go-to get leaner tips, let's call them. If you're not doing this already, I do recommend having like structured eating times. Now, I'm not saying the magic is like 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 5 p.m. What I'm saying is know yourself within your own structure and eat at transitional times that make sense with your day. And once you have that established, some time restricted eating, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing because now you've had some boundaries around when you eat. Then you need to decide what you're gonna eat and in how much, like what volume you're gonna eat to make sense to warrant some leanness. And so first, start with some structure, build that framework, and start with some time restricted eating. And then I would look at the what you eat, and I would decide, what are you eating right now that maybe you can make a quick and easy substitution to get your calories a little bit lower to start moving the needle towards that leanness. Because at the end of the day, we gotta eat less than what we burn in a day. That's the name of the game. So you have to lower the amount you eat to create that deficit to burn some body fat. And so I just kind of look at, okay, what am I eating regularly right now that might be more calories that I can make an easy substitution? It's like as simple as when people talk about rice for cauliflower rice, right? Like, rice is a great nutrient. It's a great carbohydrate. It's just calorie dense. And you could switch it for cauliflower rice and drop your calories, or just switch it for zucchini. And again, zucchini, super voluminous, it's gonna fill you up, but it's a lot less calories. And so first, figure out when you're eating and put some time restricted eating around it just to have more boundaries, more of a framework, right? So you're not just stuck snacking all day. Second, look at some foods you're eating right now that you might be able to make some substitutions or trade-offs to bring your calories down. And then honestly, the third thing that I do is I just increase my activity level. So right now I've been a bit more sedentary than I'm used to because I am cranking it with the business. And a lot of what I do, I'm sitting down. Like, people are like, well, you own a fitness business. I'm like, I don't own the gym anymore. I'm not on my feet. I do a lot of online remote coaching and content creation, whatever it is. And so like, there's some days, right now I have 1,700 steps and it's already halfway through the day. So there are some days I'm not moving very much. So it's an easy way to just make a commitment with myself to like literally take my steps from maybe 8,000 on the average to 10 or to 12. And then that's an easy way to burn more calories without stressing my body. So those are like my 3 biggest tips. If you're not doing them right now, create structure. And within that structure, know when you're gonna eat. than what you're gonna eat and how much you're gonna eat. So you look at those foods, and then the how much is the total amount to promote that leanness. That's where you can make your trade-offs. It's as simple as that. And then go get some more steps in walking in. Low stress, easy way to burn calories. So hopefully you'll stay tuned for my next episode. And I'm gonna talk about my cut, and I'm gonna talk about how I'm gonna do it, what I'm doing right now, what will be different, how I make it so easy to do that it just fits seamlessly into my life without having to restrict myself or kill myself over doing it. It's actually fun now, which who would have thought that like getting shredded could be fun? So I'm gonna show you that. All right, I'm also gonna pop in some photos and show you like my stages of what my transformation has looked like. Because let me tell you, it's pretty similar year to year, which is interesting. I looked back 10 years ago and I'm the exact same weight that I was 10 years ago, but wow, does my body look different since I've put a lot of muscle mass on and I just really take care of myself mentally and physically. Okay, chat soon.